What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. So as most of you know by now, last week Ford launched the new generation Ford F-150, which is the 2021 model year. Now, I made a video on that, so before you watch this, you should go check that out. Above me right now, you will see a clickable card. Hit that, go watch that, and come on back here. Because today I want to talk about why I'm happy that I bought this 2020 Tundra about 3 months ago versus what's coming on the Ford F-150. Every time a new brand launches something, I want to check it out and see what's coming down the pike. And Ford is, as I always say, the king of the mountain when it comes to this segment for the half tons. You know, they sell a massive amount of units compared to everyone else. Now, obviously, we know the Tundra is near the bottom of that segment, but that doesn't mean that the Tundra is not a great truck. I've owned a lot of them, but today I want to come to you as an owner of this 2020. Now, there are a lot of different Tundra owners out there. There are some of us who want change now, right now. Next generation Tundra, let's go. I'm sick of this generation. But then there's owners like me who I'm really actually happy with the current truck, but there were always small things here and there that I wanted to see changed on the Tundra. And I gotta be honest with you, this 2020 is the best Tundra I've ever owned, and I'm extremely happy with everything that comes on this. But going back to the 2021 Ford F-150 launch, I felt like there was a lot of things on that truck that were very gimmicky, and they actually make me feel a little bit better that I bought this truck for the 2020, which, as we know, this platform has been around for a very long time for the Tundra. But I'm going to show you a couple of things that are coming on the Ford F-150 that kind of make me shake my head. And again, when you watch that video, you'll see two words that annoy me quite a bit in it, and that's available and optional. Everything that Ford is talking about for the 2021, it doesn't come standard. It's something they add on. But some of the things I just feel like are a little bit of a stretch. And I'm going to show you today that a lot of these options that are coming on the 2021 Ford F-150, you actually have on your truck at home, as I do on this 2020. So let's check out a few of those gimmicky things. Now, one of the available options in the new 2021 Ford F-150 in some of the higher trims is seats that go all the way back. They fold all the way down. Well, I have this seat in my TRD Pro all the way down right now, and it doesn't go as far back as what they're offering in the 2021, but if you're pushing it as, oh, you know, between jobs, maybe you just take a little rest and lay in your seat, this is perfectly fine for anyone, and I didn't have to pay that optional price that's gonna come with it for this seat. But for not having to pay any extra money, that is pretty close to where Ford is right now with their new 2021 power seat, and it's free. As you can see here, if I want to take a rest in between jobs, this goes back far enough, and it's fine for a little nap or a little rest before you got to go do something else. And once again, and this is the big point of this whole thing, I don't have to pay any extra money for this. Okay, so on the Ford F-150, along with a lot of the other manufacturers, everyone is coming out with a bigger infotainment screen. That seems to be the thing that's catching on. We have to have the biggest infotainment screen to make anybody happy. Well, Toyota for 2020 went up to an 8-inch screen from a 7-inch screen, and I gotta be honest with you, it's just fine. It does the job. Entune 3.0 is the system that's on here now, which I feel like is a lot more user-friendly than the old one that's out there. I mean, you get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you get Alexa, you get everything you need, and that is what the Tundra is all about. Everything you need, not necessarily much of the extras, and people really like that. It's a less is more kind of a thing. So you get everything you need here. The screen is plenty big. There's no issues. When we come down here, I was talking about this in my video about the Ford F-150 the other day. We come over to the gauge cluster. The gauge clusters for a lot of the brands also nowadays are going fully digital. Well, this still has that analog look with a center screen there that gives you all the information you need. Like I said, it's probably not the most high-tech thing in the world, but it gives you all the information you want and a little bit extra. One of the things they're offering in the new 2021 Ford F-150 is a tailgate workstation, which I gotta be honest with you, I just don't understand it. And seeing the pictures, it looks like it's perfectly flat. You could cut your wood, you could do whatever you need, you could write your plans on. But really, at the end of the day, what is that gonna cost? A few $100, maybe $1,000 add-on to an already super expensive truck? For me, why not just lay a piece of cardboard down or a piece of plywood down and work off that, and then you could do it for free, because I mean, obviously these could stand up to what you need to do on it already. It's not perfectly flat, as you can see, most aren't, but once again, a piece of cardboard or a piece of plywood or something, and you got yourself a workstation, and you don't have to spend an extra few $100 to $1,000 to get it. And I must say, I still think the Tundra is one of the best looking half tons out there. We saw this body redesign in 2014 and up, and I'm not just talking the TRD Pro, but overall, the nose of the truck looks great, the body lines are great, and some people like it, some people hate it, but for me, of all the half tons out there right now, I really gotta say, I genuinely enjoy the look of the current Tundra. And that is one of the things that we always talk about, is some people want wholesale changes to the truck, new generation, new body, new lines, new everything. For me, I think the truck looks great, and the little things they're doing here and there, like adding stuff for 2020, is the way to go, because I think this truck is near perfect in the way it looks. Now, one of the things you're seeing in a lot of these new generation trucks is hybrid options, which all of the manufacturers will eventually have hybrids out there. But I gotta be honest with you, and there are people out there who will agree with this and disagree with this, I still love the 5.7 liter V8 engine. Comes with a 38-gallon tank in this truck now, so your range is a little over 500 miles between fill-up. And I know it's not the most fuel-efficient thing in the world, but I'm getting 15 to 17 mpg, and I genuinely enjoy it. Paired up with the TRD dual exhaust, it's an amazing sounding engine. Tried and true, reliable, and I absolutely can't get enough of it. Would hate to see the V8s go away, of course. But at the end of the day, just in talking with where I'm trying to go with all of this, I owned a bunch of Tundras, you guys know that. There were things that I always said, they got to change things here and there. And I'm not talking about giant changes, but little things like they've added in this truck. Push button start, the 8-inch screen, the new Entune 3.0, things we talk about all the time. There's a remote connect app where you could turn your truck on and off. You could see the mileage on it. You could schedule your oil changes. Everything you need is on an app now. They've kind of brought the truck up to the now. The 5.7 in the 2020 is extremely responsive. Again, I talk about that all the time. Of all the Tundras I've driven, the two 2020s that I've had, this is the one that I own, and I also did a press vehicle, a 2020 1794 TRD, and the 5.7 in the 2020s just feel a little bit extra responsive. And it could be seat of the pants kind of thing, but I don't know, I'm going with it. Gotta love the 5.7 in this truck. So overall, I'm a happy owner. When I see things like the 2021 Ford F-150 come out, it's not a bad looking truck. It's great for the segment to see everything's moving forward. You know, and we're going to keep building half tons. It's a red hot market. They'd be stupid to not keep going forward. And we know the next generation Tundra is on the way. But for right now, I feel like every year Toyota does little things here and there to the Tundra that make me a happy owner. I couldn't be happier with this truck. I'm part of that less is more feel. Don't get me wrong. I like things like the moonroof. I like things like you know, JBL sound system and the small stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't really care if I have a seat that goes all the way back. I don't need a workstation on the bed of the truck or on the tailgate of the truck. That stuff's just not really for me. Like I said, anytime I'm ever doing anything where I'm using the tailgate for measuring or stuff like that, or need a flat surface, we talked about this outside, just a small piece of plywood, or, you know, I use cardboard. I have a cardboard box in the back that I use all the time that I lay flat, and that's what I use it for. But there's things here and there, and I know a lot of you out there still see a lot of things that the Tundra needs to match today's market, and I hear you. One of the things Ford F-150 came out with that I really do enjoy is that outboard power thing they got in their bed, which has, you could pretty much power a full job site because it has all the outlets in it. And the crazy part is not as massive, but an outlet system is offered in a Tacoma. It's offered in the 4Runner. I'm just surprised they haven't brought that to the Tundra yet. But overall, I'm happy I bought the 2020. Looking forward to the next generation in a few years. But right now, this truck is just fine. So if you're in the market and you're open to, you know, checking out all the manufacturers out there, I know a lot of people are brand loyal and they don't want to switch here and there. I strongly suggest you go take a 2020 Toyota Tundra for a ride and see what you think, because these trucks are not loaded with gimmicks. I'll tell you that right now. Less is more approach. It's built to use. Even if you're like me, I load my truck up with sports equipment every weekend. We go on trips, we go hiking, we go kayaking. That's what I use this truck for. You know, and it's a 4x4, and I'm in the Northeast, and it's great for the snow and the winter weather that comes along with it. That's what I use my truck for. Everybody uses their truck for different things. This isn't super flashy. Obviously, this is the TRD Pro Tundra. This is a little bit different, but there are great incentives out there for Tundra, so I suggest you go just just take it for a test drive. Don't knock it before you try it. And if you're into that less is more direct approach, point A to point B, safely, reliably, this may be a truck you want to check out. You know, especially before the next generation comes out. They're going to be selling these things like hotcakes while the 5.7 V8 is still around. So let me know what you think. What do you think of the 2021 Ford F-150, and would you ever consider a Tundra? But at the end of the day, I'm a happy owner, and I'm glad I bought the 2020 Toyota Tundra. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Tundra234, Tundra234@gmail.com. Around me right now, you're going to see a couple playlists I want you guys to check out if you're new to the channel. One is the 2020 TRD Pro Tundra, which I'm in right now. It's all the videos I've made on that in playlist form. Another one is the 2020 1794 TRD that I had as a press vehicle back in February. Check out some of those videos, and there's also a subscribe button. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for stopping in. Take care.